Okay, here we go.
Well, welcome everyone to episode 4 of Getting to Know You with a Twist, when we invite awesome YouTubers from the community to collab with us. So, in today's episode, we are the Obi Thorn Alliance and we got Screen Zen. For this episode, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Jason here with Screen Zen. You can actually find me at screen underscore Zen on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Basically, the channel is going through my love of movies, some new reviews, but also going into nostalgia as well of the movies that I remember growing up with.
Oh, that's very awesome. I guess some YouTube questions to start off with. Was that your first name that you came up with, or what were some other names that you were kind of leaning towards? I always like to know what sort of names other people kind of come up with.
Yeah, so I mean, that definitely was not the first name, and to be honest with you, I don't remember the other ones, but
That's fair.
I wanted to have the name kind of show the vibe of the channel. So I'm pretty laid back, just
Nothing wrong
calm
with that.
guy. So that's where the Zen comes in. And then obviously the screen is, the movie stuff and TV shows. So I marry those two together and it kind of fit. So
And what has been your most proudest video, or video that might have not gotten the views, but you thought you edited it well, you scripted it well, and you were proud of it, but it might have not got the views, but you thought as a creator it did everything well, but it might have not gotten the traction that
yep.
it deserved?
So I think that one review comes to mind of the Book of Clarence.
Okay.
So absolutely, I like that movie. I went to the theaters and saw that one. But when I was doing the review, it was so up until that point, I have been doing reviews and really learning as I was going. But that one just came out like, oh, this looks professional. Like, you know what I mean? Like the million subscriber channels it reminded me of. I was like, oh wow, I had music in the background, great B-roll and all of that, right? But I it didn't do as well as I wanted to. But honestly, if I had to think about it, I think it was back in the time when I was just getting started. So maybe the algorithm or whatever have you um, didn't have enough information of me to push, me out. So that's what I akin it to. But I think that was one of my best videos that I ever made for sure.
And what is the concept of this movie? I haven't heard of it.
Oh yeah. So what it's talking about is almost like a biblical story of how in the Bible they have like Mark, Luke, and John writing about their version of seeing Jesus walking around and living life, right? So this book is the Book of Clarence. So it's his perspective on seeing Jesus enter Jerusalem. And the thing about it is you rarely see Jesus, like the Jesus character in the movie, but it really follows Clarence and his story, and what you're getting is kind of like another perspective on the Jesus story, right?
Hmm.
Without giving spoilers and all that. So
And I guess the opposite of that question is, what has been the most popular video that you've done? Most of the other people we have had on is Jason Stratham. Has that been the same for you, or has it been something else?
oh, say that again. Say that one more time. The last part. Sorry.
A lot of people have said it's been Jason Stratham movies. Has it been the same for you or different?
Oh, so I know. So I did Jackson review that got a good amount of views for long form. Um, so I'll say yes to that. But if we're talking about like my most successful, it would be a short. And if I'm talking about, oh, well, it's actually a short talking about the critics. of the Michael movie, how the differences between the critic score and the audience score are so different, and I'm not understanding in my head how the critics were thinking. They saw the same film, but I guess they were thinking a little bit differently. That one got me, 53,000 views,
Oh wow.
about 66 subscribers and 245 comments. So that's definitely the best, most successful video I've ever had. And to be honest with you, it came at a shock. Usually I don't expect to see that many numbers, on my shorts.
So you enjoyed the Michael Jackson movie?
I did. I did. I think it was more of a celebration of life more than anything. In terms of like, I understand, because here's the thing. I understand what the critics are saying about like plot points and not diving deep into his life. It is a biopic after all. I understand that. But
Mm.
the movie that they gave us, I did enjoy. It was almost like a celebration of his achievements more than anything.
Yeah, fair enough. I
Yeah.
guess one final YouTube question, then we'll get into the getting to know you with a twist is what is a YouTube video trend that people do that you don't quite like or don't quite understand that gets the viewers? What is that for you? Is it trailer reactions or is it people watching others play video games? What is that for you?
Um, wow, that's a good question. I
Thank
I
you.
know that I get annoyed when I see it's not really a video, it's like an ad. The ads. It's like, oh, and especially on TikTok, where it's like, oh,
Mm.
you can get your 1,000 subscribers or whatever. I hate those ads so much. But I
False
see them
advertising.
everywhere and I'm like, I just don't know why they're popping up so much. So
Good answer. So I guess question one. Are you ready for the questions?
I'm ready, guys.
Okay. So question one. What's the first movie you remember seeing at the cinemas as a child and it sticks in your brain and it just hits hard because it was your first cinema experience
Yep.
and yeah,
It's funny because I have two answers for this. One,
love it.
so I'll explain because my grandmother, she took me to go see Rockadoodle when I
Oh
was
yeah.
young, and that was my first like sit down in the theater, popcorn, you know what I mean, experience. And the reason I gave two is because yes, I saw the movie in theaters, but I don't really remember that movie that well. It's almost like a dream. But the one that I really remember sitting down and actually knowing what's going on and all of that was The Lion King. In
Oh,
theaters,
good
I got
choice.
to see that in the yeah, and that was big. The music and everything, just being so young, and um, I remember the theater being packed. So yeah. So the Lion King theater experience was definitely like up there, but it wasn't my first.
And what is Rackadoodle? Because I haven't heard of this movie.
Yeah, so Rockadoodle was about honestly, I forgot the plot, but it's about a chicken who is like a rock star, almost like an Elvis type. So it's an
Okay.
animation, first off, I should say. And he, I believe, gets taken away from the farm or something like that, like waking people up or something like that. And um the main character who is a child tries to get him back. So that's the thing about the whole movie. The chicken, or the male chicken that went away, they're trying to get him back because he was the sing song type of guy, again, Elvis, that Elvis presence. And yeah, when he comes back, all is well. It was a very long time ago.
Would you say you loved the movie the most because you watched it with your grandmother and it kind of had that experience with watching it with her, and with watching The Lion King, it was more because of you were older, kind of different uh, reasons for both of those movies?
Yeah, so I mean, me being with my grandmother is always like, special, a memory.
Family member.
Um, and to be honest with you, it probably didn't matter what movie we watched, it was just that
Time together.
experience of being with her. Um, but I think with The Lion King, there was a lot of hype around it. It was what it was, and it kind of blew up back then. Um, but I didn't know what I was gonna watch. I didn't know, I just haven't seen any trailers or anything like that. I honestly think my mother saw the hype that was building with it and like, I think he's gonna like this. It was a children's movie, Disney, and I was technically a Disney kid, had all the VHSs and seen most of those films. So she was like, it's no brainer. He's gonna like this. I want to see it. Let's go. Um, but yeah, I just remember, like you said, me probably being older, being able to understand and recognize what's happening definitely made a difference for sure.
And I guess important question: did you like them doing the live action movie of The Lion King, or not
Yeah.
really?
No, not really. I was not a big fan of the live action. It was beat for beat like the original, but the
Mm,
changes that Disney made made me upset. Okay, so one of the things was that they went a little bit too realistic. It looked like,
mm,
National Geographic, almost documentary style, and there was no expression in the face, right? It's funny because later there was like an AI rendition of what Simba should look like with like almost like a more animated looking face to show the emotions. Still looked real, and I was like, that could have been it. Like, why did Disney choose to do this? I think they went a little overboard with the realism. Every animal looked like taxidermy, to be honest. So, yeah.
very good answer. I guess question leading into question number 2 is, what was your first movie you fall in love with? I guess it could be anything.
hmm That I fell in love with. Oof. That's a good question. That's a hard question. So many I
Mm.
love. But the first one,
What sticks out? I guess it could be, I know
yeah,
you said you like Marvel, uh,
right.
could be anything.
I mean, because when you talk about the first one, it's like, is it in my childhood? Because there's a lot of movies that I love from that era. Um,
Is it like a movie you remember as a kid watching on repeat? Like I can think of things that I watched over and over as a kid. Is there one that
right,
was like your
right.
go-to movie as a kid?
So I think that that movie would probably need to be let me see. Uh Jack with Robin Williams. So that was actually the first movie that made me cry, like
Oh,
towards the end. It was very emotional. And but I remember, you know, watching it over and over again that way. Because it was just a fun film. Robin Williams was there. You had a lot of celebrities. Well, at the time I didn't know who they were, it's probably except Robin Williams, but it was just a fun film. And it was just the emotional parts of it at the end, it got me. And that was the first time that I cried, like, after not like bawling, you know what I mean? But like tears running down the face type deals. Yeah.
did it make you feel those emotions more after you kept watching it, or was it more the first
No, it was, yeah,
time?
that's a great question. So it was more of like the initial watch,
Mm,
'cause after that, I already knew what was gonna happen.
mm.
And I was just there for the fun parts anyway. So, but yeah.
Very good answer. Question number 3. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life,
Oh,
what
wow.
would it be and why?
Oh man, one movie? So, oof, for the rest of my life. Huh. Man, these are good questions.
Thank you.
It's that's very hard because I'm trying to think of a movie that has a lot of what I like in it all together. So,
Mm.
oof. Okay, so if I have to give an answer, I'm going to say The Matrix 1999.
Oh, the first
So I
Matrix.
love, that type of movie, the action, sci-fi.
That's a good
Um,
choice.
and I have watched it over and over again. So I feel like I could get into it. Like whenever I just want to watch a movie, I can just throw that one on. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on what they did with the sequels and the shameful Matrix 4 movie?
Yeah. So a short story about that. I was super excited when this came out, and it just so happened that a lot of my friends also love the Matrix. So we made a plan. We're having a party at a friend's house. We get, wings, pizza, all of that stuff, right? Sodas, right? We're having a party. We're watching the Matrix, the new Matrix. And we were just sitting there, just in disbelief at how
Oh,
bad we thought it was.
yeah.
And I don't know what they were trying to do, why they went in the direction they went into. Um, the fact that they didn't bring back Lawrence Fishburne
Yeah, that
when
was
they had
weird.
everybody back was just very strange to me. And then I had to believe that, Madul Apteen, um,
Was like his reincarnation or something?
yeah, I was like, why are they doing this? It was very strange. And then it was I put this off to just being the Matrix because even the first Matrix, I had to watch it multiple times to understand what the Matrix was because that was the big question that I wanted answered. The marketing for that was just brilliant. I was really curious. But with this new one, I think I was just confused because it wasn't a good script.
Yes.
Not because there was any, deep meaning type of thing, but I think that script just needed a little bit more love. So
And I also believe that there were 2, like, sisters or brothers involved, and only
yes,
one of them was
yes,
involved,
and
so
yep, and that was
I guess that's
also
why.
a big problem. It's like if you have that's almost like the Russo brothers not doing a movie. You know what I mean? Like an Avengers
Yeah.
movie together. That's crazy. Why would you even do that? Yeah.
So, do you think would you like them to do something else in the Matrix universe, or just the free one that we got the free movies and the 4th one we shall not talk about?
Right. I mean, I th- I would love to see more Matrix because that world has really been it's been explored a lot, especially in the I don't know if you saw the Animatrix where they were telling like short stories of, things of happening in the Matrix. That was brilliant because they didn't need to make a whole long movie about any of these stories if they didn't want to, but it told the behind the scenes of like civilians, regular people experiencing these phenomena of the Matrix, and I love that. Even people breaking out of the Matrix,
Oh,
by
that's
just
cool.
like running or doing everyday tasks, because something clicked or something, right? Anyway, um, I would love to see that movie expanded or done more. I do want to see it, but I think they need to go back to the drawing board and kind of fix. I don't want to say fix the fourth one. I think they need to really just give the people what they were expecting and what they might want. Like get the band back together, get Lawrence back in there. You know what I mean? Whatever way you
Yes.
can make up something, it doesn't really matter. We'll love it. Um, and I want them to see where the third one ended and go forward that way. I don't want like it's 50 years in the future, now it's all new and all of that. Like if you're going to
Very
tell a
true.
story, make it that story. Or what I think would be fun is if they did like a prequel. I want to
Yeah.
know how
The
they
machines won.
started the Matrix, the first one. What
Mm.
was that like? You know, that's interesting to me. Um, if they went into that direction, yeah.
Yeah, good answer. Question number 4. What's a movie you like, but you're embarrassed to admit to others?
I get flack all the time for this, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say it, and I understand, guys. I
Mm-hmm.
know why people don't like this movie. Some things
Mm-hmm.
I agree with for sure. It's Cats. Okay.
I haven't seen Cats. I've heard it's really bad.
People do not like that movie for one
Mm.
reason or another. Honestly, I think for me, they should have went with a no-name cast. I
Yeah.
understand the star power that they were trying to go with like Taylor Swift and Jason Derulo, but I don't think they were good in those roles. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But Cats, the reason I loved it so much is because that was one of the first Broadway shows that I've seen. You know,
Oh, okay.
I think that was in middle school for me, and there's that nostalgia for me that I'm holding on to, right? Um, but I also think that people don't understand what Cats actually is, and that's why
Mm.
they're like, "I don't like it." I think they don't like it because they don't understand it. But, I had a lot of conversations with people about this. The movie specifically, it was the, CGI of the cats. I understand. It was the cast. I understand that too, right? But, I think Cats as a musical, as just a story, it just makes sense to me. And right. And so I always tell people that this was based on a book of poems, first off, right? So there's barely a plot, and I think that's also getting people, but the plot is it's a pick me story. Like all the different cats are talking to the head cat, Deuteronomy, and saying, pick me to go to what's called the Heaviside lair. That's what they're calling it. It's pretty much cat heaven, pretty much. And each song is a different cat saying, hey, this is why I'm special. This is why I should be picked. And I think once people understand that, it makes it an easier watch.
Mm. So, do you think they should do a version with no name actors, or what do you think they should do to redeem themselves, or do they even need to redeem themselves?
Honestly, I think it's too late for redemption.
Mm.
Because I don't think another reboot of Cats, even if it was like real cats, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Mm.
think it's going to because this one or the latest one bombed so hard, I think that people are going to be, especially Hollywood, is going to be very cautious about doing that again. Yeah.
Yes. Question number 5. What is your ideal actor team up? So, for example, we've had Ben Affleck and Matt Damon quite a lot. So,
Mhm, mhm.
who would you like to see in this hypothetical movie?
Ooh, team ups. Let me see. That's a great question. I'm trying to think of what's in my head right now is I don't have any names, but they would need to be like comedians. Like I would love to see like a buddy cop type of deal with two comedians. Wow. Can this be like any actors, or are we talking
Yeah,
about those who teamed up in
any
the
ac-
past?
any actors you want.
Okay. So I would say I would love to see a movie where we have I want to see Michael B. Jordan and Edward Norton.
Okay.
The reason being is because Edward Norton is one of my favorite actors, and Michael B. Jordan, obviously recently proving that he is of caliber.
He's the
Um,
man.
all the movies that he's been in, even I'm curious what they can do together,
Mm.
or even or even if I can say a comedian like Michael B. Jordan, like Paul Rudd or something like that. I'm curious to see that dynamic and how they would pull it off. Yeah. But Edward Norton, because he's one of my favorites.
So would Ed Norton be your Hulk or Mark Ruffalo?
Edward Norton is my Hulk. I love that Hulk till the death. He didn't look like Hulk. I'll be honest with you. He looked like a linebacker, yes. But the way that he played Bruce Banner, I absolutely loved.
Do you think it's unfortunate that he didn't get to keep going as Hulk? Because I believe the reason why they let him go was because he was like too arrogant at set and things like that. And
yeah. So the last I heard of why it wasn't him, because that could definitely be the case. Never meet your heroes, right? But I have a feel because I heard somewhere that he turned it down. I'm not sure what's true or not. All I know is that I was missing him in the MCU. But luckily I heard that he might actually show up in Doomsday. So we're talking about all the Hulks, Banner, even Mark Ruffalo, I believe, is going to make an appearance. So all the Hulks are apparently going to be there. So maybe I might see him there. Yeah.
Very good choice. Question number 6. Would you rather live in a world with superheroes like The Boys, Invincible, stuff like that, and MCU and DC, and villains, or a universe with monsters, for example, King Kong and Godzilla?
Wow. Okay. So if I lived in the world with like monsters, especially like King Kong and Godzilla, I feel like I could survive. Like just be where they're not,
That's true.
But then I would love to live in a world full of superheroes. It depends on what powers I have. Because if I don't have any, I don't want to live in that world. That's a crazy world.
It would be.
That's it. I really don't, So if I had to pick one, I don't know, man. Because even the Godzilla, you can tear up your whole town. I don't even know. I guess superheroes and villains, that's going to be crazy. But there's a chance I might actually get superpowers. You never know.
What would your superpower be if you could choose?
I thought about flight a lot, but I'm like, I think I might want I was thinking about this actually, like Cyclops powers, but I can see. That's the difference. Like I don't need the visors all the time. Like I can like turn it on and turn it off.
That's cool.
Or like Nightcrawler too. Because like bamfing through like the walls and just all of that, that's pretty cool too. And he was always one of my favorite X-Men. So either one of those two. Teleportation or like eye lasers that I can control.
Speaking about X-Men, have you seen the X-Men 97 show?
I did, and I loved it. That was actually, it's funny because everyone was saying it, but it's true. It feels like you're watching a Saturday morning cartoon. So absolutely loved it. And the intro, oh my God, Cyclops landing with the oh my God, it's so cool. So I'm just waiting on season 2 because I think I'm gonna like that too. Yep.
Hopefully it's as good as season 1.
I hope so. I know there was like a lot of changes that happened with like not who's in charge of it, but like who's not directing either, but like producing, and there's a lot of moving parts that got shifted around, but I hope they have the same feeling.
Hopefully as well. Question number 7. If your life was a movie, what would the title be of this hypothetical movie?
If my life was a movie, I think it would be one word. It would be eclectic.
Oh,
because I'm
okay.
into so many different things and I've done so much, you know, over the course of my life up till now that I think that would be a fitting title. Um, what will it be about? Like plot wise, I don't know, but my life. Um, yeah, I'm into a lot of different things and almost like a jack of all trades situation, just picking up things along the way. Yeah. Maybe it's eclectic, and then I have to use all the knowledge that I learned to like save someone or be the hero or something like that. That'd be cool.
Question number 8.
You already asked them.
Oh, in the beginning. Question number 9. What do you enjoy most about making content?
Oh, um, creating something out of nothing. I think that's what I enjoy. Bringing an idea that I had in my head, and being able to flesh it out, plan it, and then, put it out in the world. The creative process is my favorite, coming up with the ideas. Um, I love that. I can do that all day. I think like the editing and all of that takes time, but the part of the process is the planning and coming up with those ideas. I love that. Yeah.
And what's your favorite? Do you find it harder coming up with the idea or writing the script of that idea?
I think writing the script
Mm,
for the idea I have, because now you're trying to put it into words.
yeah.
It's easy to think about something all day and it's like, well, how do I feel about it? XYZ. But then having to structure it, in my mind, like I'm thinking about, well, when I'm thinking about an idea, I might be bouncing, 5, 10 different things, that I might want to talk about, how I want to talk about it. But then it's like once I put it down on paper or type it out, whatever, it's like now it's solid, right? And it's like it's like a plan that I will follow later. So that's the part of it that gets a little bit difficult because now there's structure involved and you're thinking about hooks, you're thinking about YouTube, you're thinking about keeping engagement, you're talking, trying to keep the viewer there. uh, how does what I'm thinking in my head, how can I structure it in a way
Translate.
that's entertaining for more people? Yeah.
And how do the ideas come to you? Do you try and make the ideas that other people come up with better, or do you like it comes to you while you're doing something? How does the ideas translate to when you're doing the script and things like that with the processing?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't I don't normally like take from people, but
Mm,
I see examples, on YouTube especially, that where it's like, okay, you see so many views on a video, it's like what worked for them, that type of deal. It's really just
yeah,
learning.
inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration. Thank you. Yes. Um, but I it's not hard. It's just for me, it's like, what am I trying to do with the channel? So, like for instance, I'm trying to show nostalgia, right? What I remember, that idea just came out of me doing, reviews and reactions. Like if you look at my page earlier, it was mostly those, right? Because I was trying to, I don't know, be like a movie reviewer or whatever have. But then as I thought about what it is that I like or love about movies, like about movies, it's always the feelings that they gave me and the memories that I had growing up. So, from those thoughts, I went into the nostalgia and, have more plans on uh, things coming up, in the future with that. But it's almost like I had to kind of sit back and think, what is it that I actually enjoy about the movies, and then using what I've learned and the inspiration, make the content come about.
Hmm. It's very interesting to learn about other people's, I guess, inspiration of videos, I guess.
Hmm.
Question number 10. Who do you believe is the most influential director or actor or franchise in your taste in movies or TV shows?
Wow. Most influential. Hmm. I'm trying to think because when we're talking about influence, it's like there's movies out there that literally kind of shattered the way people made films. Um, so I remember watching this film in college. It was actually a film class, and it was what was it? It was oh my goodness, what's the name of the movie? It's was it Orson Welles? It's an old black and white movie. Give me a sec.
It's all good.
Rosebud. What movie was that? I know people are probably like, I know that. It was what's the name of the movie? I can't believe Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane.
Oh, the
That's a
second
classic.
Star Trek movie?
No.
Oh no, no. So no, Citizen Kane is actually a movie that was made in like the 1920s, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Um Citizen Kane. Yeah, so it was excuse me, 1941 it was made. But
Okay,
I
so
learned
during
about
World War
I watched
Two.
this. Huh?
So during World War Two.
Yes. So, but the reason why this film is so special is because it was doing things with the special effects, if you want special effects, if you want to call it that,
Hmm.
back then that kind of sprung a whole new generation of filmmakers. So for instance, just one example I can give you, there's a scene where it starts with a wide shot of a boy playing in the snow in front of his house on a sled. And the camera zooms into or past the boy into the window of the house, goes through the house into the backyard or something like that, right? During that time, that has never been done before. Okay. So they literally had, I think they had to build the set like split so that the camera can travel through it.
Oh, okay.
Just that level of innovation and during that time it allowed for a lot more of the CGI special effects that we do with computers now possible because you had that um it's almost like back then they were s- almost still naming shots, you know what I mean, or coming up with new ways to shoot. And you see, trucking and all these basic terms that we know now pretty much sprang from that movie because it took so much risk and it did so many things that were different. You can only call it a special effect. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But
Yep.
that movie, if that movie wasn't made, I don't know what we would have today. I don't think that we would have people who are willing to take the risk they are today, because that was the first example of a director just going all out, taking a risk, and doing what he had to do in order to make the shot work. So yeah. That's a deep cut.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, question 11, not as deep or I guess meaningful as question 10, but here it is. Favorite movie franchise?
Mm. Favorite movie franchise. My favorite? Hmm.
We won't accept just MCU. That's not an answer.
Okay. Yeah. um. Favorite movie franchise. You know, I think it's going to be the Matrix. I think it's going to
Good
be all
answer.
three of those Matrixes. Though that has to be my favorite. I've seen them way too many
Just
times.
not count the fourth one.
No, the fourth one we're truncating. We're going to keep that off over there. The original three. Yeah.
You like the ending of the third one?
Pardon?
You enjoyed the ending of the third one?
I did. I liked it. I mean, I think it was one of those things where I knew it was the third one and they were just
Yes.
wrapping it up. But you know, it was telling a story. And the third
Yeah.
one was the
Conclusion.
culmination of all of that. So just watching it and kind of following along that way, I enjoyed it. I did like it.
What's your least like one between 2 and 3? Because I think the obvious answer, which one is the best one, is the first one. But I feel like a lot of people dislike the second and third one because I think they feel like the second and third one get a little bit too complex for its own good. So which one do you like the least between 2 and 3?
The least. Because Matrix 3, that was
It's when Agent Smith like hijacks the machine and becomes like the villain, and Neo has to take him down.
okay. And that was the one with the multiple Smiths? I think that was
Yes.
number 2. I'm sorry. Matrix Revolution. That was the one. You know what? I like both for different reasons. Mostly the action scenes that we're seeing in it, like the Smith fight. I absolutely love that one. And
It is a good fight.
yeah, I'm talking about not the Smith fight where he's in the park, because I know that was also a Smith fight, but the one where it's raining and all of that. That was a pretty
Yes.
good one. Yeah, I just don't remember which one that was, but
The third one is the rain. The second one was in the park.
So I think Matrix Revolutions, I liked it because it actually wrapped up and they won. Like
Yeah.
seeing the Sentinels kind of falling from the sky, after Neo kind of sacrificed himself. I like that. I like that it kind of ended on a good note for whatever reason. But I think they hinted at like, oh, this will be the Matrix will be reborn again or something like that. They didn't say it, but it was like you got the feeling.
Yeah, and then the fourth one kind of undoes everything.
And you know what it was? The fourth one felt like a cash grab. It was like,
Yes, it
okay,
does.
we have the people in place. Keanu's coming back. You have Trinity coming back. It's like, let's make some money. But that thing needed to bake a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Question number 12. What draws you into a movie or TV show? Is it the characters, the story? What is it that draws you in?
So I think for me, it's the characters. If I can relate to them, or if I think they're cool or whatever it might be, it's the characters for sure. I mean, yeah. So the characters will draw me in, but the story will keep me because I'm going to be following the story, making sure, well, not making sure, but if it makes sense, it makes sense. So the story's going to keep me there, but the characters and yeah, that's going to bring me in for sure.
And between the two ways of storytelling, which one do you find does it better for you, the movie method or the TV show method?
So I think that I mean, I prefer the movie method because I'm able to sit there for an hour and a half and just tell a complete story.
Hours.
And it's like you get beginning, middle, and end, and no, without cliffhangers, they'll tell you, the ending. But then with the show, you have to, well, you know how sometimes Netflix or even Disney do it, you know, one a week sometimes, you know, you're waiting. You know, Daredevil, good example. I like to just binge it. I just want to just watch it. I want to get the story all at one sitting, you know. So I would say
Yeah, me
movie
too.
because it's a shorter time that you're going to be there. The show, you can tell a deeper story for sure. And you can go through each of the characters and how they relate to the main character for sure. But you're gonna be waiting a while before you get any of that, whereas you can kind of get a little bit quicker in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's a movie do you feel like that you were engaged with? Would you say oh, what was it called? Uh, um, the movie with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, like
Hail Mary. Hail Mary.
Yeah, did you enjoy that movie with the storytelling?
Yes, I did. I did. You know, it's funny because they have like the trope of that, you know, alien creature, sci-fi, the trope of like the alien creature that then becomes the friend, you know.
Yes.
Um, but I mean, Hail Mary isn't a story that we haven't seen before, right?
Mm.
But I think that movie does a good job with telling its story. Um, even though we might have seen that a couple of times, like, you know, and I said this in one of my shorts, is like an unlikely uh guy who becomes the hero, you know. Um, so but yeah, I definitely like the story in that. One of the things about it was I think that it was Ryan Gosling's how he portrayed that character that I liked more, you know. And again, characters are gonna, you know, pull me in. So yeah,
Does it make you want to read the book?
I I didn't know that there was a book.
There is a
Uh,
book.
I always have been a visual learner, so I'm gonna say
Yes, me
no.
too.
It's funny because
That's
even
fair.
when Harry Potter came out, like I read the first Harry Potter book, then the movie
Mm.
started coming out. That's the last Harry Potter book I read. You know what I mean? So it's like that. Yeah.
So you're looking forward to the show to Harry Potter?
I am. I'm curious. I'm curious what they're going to do with it.
Mm.
Because you know, it's different because it's a show and not a movie. So that's one difference. Again, they're going to be able to kind of dive deep. And what I'm hoping that we get is that I want it to be as accurate to the books as possible because obviously with whatever movie that was adapted out, you know, from a book, the book is always better, right?
Yes.
Um, because of the detail that they're able to tell in it.
The
Now,
character's thoughts and motivations.
right, exactly.
Mm.
But Harry Potter being a show, they can give a little bit more insight, you know, into maybe his internal
Voldemort's
dialogue,
name.
you know, that the book had.
Mm.
The only thing I don't or I don't agree with it, and I'm really not sure why they made the decision, but changing the race of Snape,
I agree with that.
that's a head
I'm
scratcher for
happy that
me.
you said that.
Um, because it does change the dynamic. You know, James Potter used to bully him, and it's like, well, is it a race thing now? Like, you know, and I don't know. I think that Alan uh Richmond did such a great job with Snape that it's going to be hard to one put another person in that position, no matter what
Yes.
the race is, and two, now there's a little twist in it. I'm like, oof, that's going to be a interesting watch. I'm not sure how they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I am curious. I am interested in this show because everything else, like I like the characters of the cast, who they chose to play these characters. Everyone except for Snape to me is perfect. Even like John Lithgow as Dumbledore, I never thought that they would even consider him to be like a Dumbledore character. but it's a lot of great choices. It's just that one Snape choice that I'm not sure if it's going to go over well.
Do you feel like the writers did that so they could have drama and tension because of his race? Because in the
Yeah,
books, he's
right.
not Black African American. So to me, if he was Black African American in the book, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
But to me, it just seems like such, I don't know. To me, it
yeah. I
just,
mean, so in my mind, I'm like, I don't know, because we had so much. So like, there's race swapping that I don't generally think is bad. Like, uh, but I see it happening a lot. So like, for instance,
yeah,
The Little Mermaid, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I don't really care one way or the other. Um,
mm,
but like, they just didn't go with like the redhead, what we know from the cartoon. If you're And that's a whole different story, because if you're talking about Disney live action, I can go on for hours about that. I'm like, just give us what we got in the movie.
yeah,
It's great that you made her black. Awesome. But like, when I hear a remake, a live action remake, I'm thinking of watching the movie that I remember growing up with, but it looks real with the same
yeah,
characters and everything. No swapping, no nothing, right? That's what I think. But when we're talking about like Snape, I don't know why they did it.
yeah. I'm
It could
confused.
be for drama, but then again, Harry Potter has enough drama on its own. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
they had to add any more drama into it, just to be edgy or something. It's really a head scratcher for me. I have no idea why they did that.
Yeah,
So,
it is confusing. Question number 13. I feel like I know what the answer is going to be, but
mhm.
still ask it. Would you rather give up movies or TV shows for the rest of your life?
I'd give up TV shows. I give up TV shows. Yeah. No, no, no. I need my movies. Like, it's like, because I mean, TV show. I mean, I have favorite TV shows,
Mm,
but it's the movies that, even
you
growing up,
remember
I
more.
always had that like emotional connection to them for sure. Yeah.
And what are the TV shows that are your favorite? Is it like Daredevil, Born Again,
Yeah.
Severance? Have you seen it? Kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
those sort of shows, or what
So
are they
yes,
for you?
right. So I mean, I liked Succession on HBO. I
Okay.
also liked because that one, I'll just say why I liked it so much. I didn't know what I was getting into.
Mm,
And this was like high uh echelon, business type of show, and everyone's fighting for one position, in the family, and they're all family. It was kind of a wild ride. But I also like, in terms of like TV show, I love, Fresh Prince of Bel Air was my favorite show growing up. Um, Definitely Daredevil. I like the Netflix Daredevil, the season one of that.
oh, that
Love
was
that one for sure. And even Luke Cage on, Disney Plus. I love that show. Um, it's funny. I didn't actually know much about Luke Cage. Like, I didn't read the comics or anything like that, but that show uh, got me into that world, like street level hero deal. Loved it. Every minute of it. Yep.
would you like them to do a season 3 of Luke Cage with the same actor or recast him? Or
Yeah.
what would you like them to do with
Yeah.
Luke
No, I,
Cage?
I think I think if they ever brought back Luke Cage, it has to be Mike Holter. It has to be
Mm,
him. So I mean, he's in, spoiler alert, I don't even know, but he's showing up in Daredevil, the new one.
mm,
And
that's not
it's
surprising.
yeah. So I mean, if they're gonna do anything new, it's like they're already pretty much, said he's our Luke Cage. So yeah.
Question number 14. Would you rather see the same the actors in every movie for the rest of your life, or different
Hmm.
actors but the same movie?
Oh man. Um different actors, but it's the same movie. Now, are you talking about like same type of movie, or is like
Same one. So let's say you pick The Matrix.
yes?
You either see The Matrix get recasted forever, or
Ooh,
you see the cast of The Matrix in every movie moving forward.
ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say the cast of The Matrix in every movie moving forward. I can't because them just rebooting it, I'd be pissed off by like the third time. I believe it. Yikes!
And they are good cast in The Matrix. I know Reeves has been in John Wick, and
Right.
he's proven himself. And Lawrence Fishburne has been in Hannibal. That's a
Yep.
great show, and he's been in other movies. So
For sure. And I mean, I think that if we're talking about The Matrix, like everybody on that cast has range. Well,
they do.
Keanu's a little he's the action guy, right? But
Yeah.
like Fishburne and Moss, it's like you can have a romantic movie with Keanu and Moss. You know, we've seen that already. You know, them together in The Matrix. I mean, um, you can have that cast be in like any genre, and I think it would be okay.
Yeah. Good answer. Question number 15. Now Luke came up with the wording to this. So
Okay.
gun to your head, you have to recommend a movie to a stranger, and if they like the movie you live, and if
Oh,
they don't, I guess you pass away. What would you
wow.
recommend to this person?
Ooh. So they have to like it or I'm unalive. That's crazy. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna say Iron Man, the first Iron
Oh, good
Man.
answer.
I think now see, here's the thing. It depends on who I'm talking to too, right? So it's like that's pretty of a dude film, right? So if I'm talking to a lady, I probably wouldn't recommend Iron Man. It'll probably be like you know, The Notebook or something, right? Depends on who I'm talking about, you know. But I would say Iron Man 1. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and that kind of got me hooked right then and there on the MCU, and I've been following it since. You know,
Did you like the choice of them to reveal his identity? Because I believe in the comics that actually doesn't happen. Did
right?
you like that they did that in the movies?
I did not like that.
Okay.
It cheapened him, you know,
Mm.
because I like Ben Kingsley with the talking and the sounding like Nixon and all of that stuff. Um, for all of it just to be fake at the end, I feel like the writers maybe were looking for a way out or something like that.
Mm.
Because I liked that Mandarin better than the Mandarin that we actually got.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember the long hair guy, the scientist nerd guy. He ended up being the real Mandarin or something like that. I was like, that was so corny to me.
Yeah,
But
Guy
I did
Pearce
like
is
Ben Kingsley.
Australian.
Yeah, I did like Ben Kingsley all the way through up until he was like, "Oh, I'm an actor" and all of that. But you know, but we did get what is it? I almost said Mighty Man. What is it? Wonder Man. We did get
Yeah.
Wonder Man out of it, and he's an actor, you know, so that makes sense for that. But damn, I really wish that he was the Mandarin. That would been awesome.
Did you like the Wonder Man show?
I love that one. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, I felt like that show did a good job of uh again with the street level, like just bringing it there, but in a world to where I'm already kind of, I guess, keeping track of like entertainment and acting. Um, so I like that aspect of it. And the another aspect I loved was that they were able to bring in his culture of being, you know, Haitian without forcing it down our throats. It was just like literally a birthday party for I believe his mother, and then they were just like, you know, the cooking and everything that they were doing. It was showing the culture, um, without it feeling forceful. You know, you knew who he was, and what he cared about, And I think the acting thing was a very good touch because you don't really see too much shows about like behind the scenes of acting. Well, not that I have seen recently. So
I don't know if you've seen the studio, but it's kind of the
I
actors
haven't, and I know
version.
that's yeah. So I know friends have been telling me that's a good one, but I have not
Yeah,
seen that just yet. Yeah.
it's kind of the perfect opposites. Like the studios is more from like the like producers and more of the corporation side of
Mm,
hiring actors and things, and Wonder Man is kind of the actors side
yes.
of interviews. So they're kind of perfect things to show together. And
Okay.
I think Wonder Man's personally a little bit better because I think you don't have to be an MCU fan to watch it. I'm glad it got renewed for season 2.
Yep. Um, yeah, so it's I heard that they were getting it or that it was renewed for season 2. I was like, okay, okay, so we have one, there's gonna be a great show that they're continuing with. They're not trying to cancel it for another show or anything like that. So I'm actually curious what we're gonna get. I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot more power,
Yeah.
or his power, excuse me. And I haven't read the comic, so I don't know who he's fighting or who would be a villain really. Um, but I'm curious what they give us in season 2 for sure.
Yes. Question number 16. What's a show or movie you could just put on in the background and never get sick of?
Hmm. Kung Fu Hustle.
Okay.
I love that film. And in the background, and it's funny because I remember putting it on in the background, and I kind of knew what parts were happening, and just from the sounds I was hearing. But I love director Stephen Chow, and I feel personally that might be his best movie. A lot of people will argue that it's Kung Fu Hustle, but yeah, yeah, for sure.
I assume you've seen it a lot of times to just have it in the background and you kind of don't need to pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, so it's in the background, but it's like if it's in the background and I'm washing dishes, I'm chuckling too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know what parts I can see it in my head. Um, the part that they're at. Yeah. So, um, but like I said, that to me is his Kung Fu Hustle is his best film, but a lot of people might think that it's Shaolin Soccer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 17. What is the best movie, in your opinion, of all time?
Of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Hmm.
With this, we usually think like best made movie. So it may not be your favorite, but the one you
Right.
appreciate and think that is the top echelon of movies.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I want to say if okay, so I'm gonna say Godfather.
Okay.
So okay, so I have to preface it because I think that as a trilogy, the whole trilogy, because it's the whole story. I think that for myself, when I watch that movie, that's one of those movies that's like a slow burn, but I'm not bored when I watch it, you know? I am into a lot of, action, sci-fi, and things of that nature. But something about The Godfather and seeing the story of that family, I think is just well put together and it's like generational. That was actually the first movie I ever saw um it do that, where it's like, okay, number two continues and he's older and Michael, you know what I mean? It's like he's carrying on the Godfather legacy and you know, he went from learning from his father, the Godfather, to becoming his own man, and then eventually passing it on. So his whole story arc in the Godfather 1, 2, and 3, I absolutely love. Yeah, and I'll say that one is to me the best put together film.
That answer kind of makes sense for you because I've noticed a trend that you like character development and story. So I haven't seen The Godfather personally, but
I think
from getting to know what you prioritize most, that answer kind of makes sense because it does sound like a character-driven movie, and
Yeah.
you said that was one of your things you prioritize.
For sure. Yep.
Question number 18. Do you think Hollywood has ran out of new ideas? And what has caused this within Hollywood?
Yeah. So I think Hollywood did definitely I don't think they ran out of ideas. I'm not going to say that. I think they're scared of risk. I think
Yes,
that's the
definitely
issue.
agree.
I have a feeling that the ideas are always going to be there of something that's fresh, brand new, never seen before. And there's probably stories that we would absolutely love, but because of uh, Hollywood politics of like the script writers or the directors not choosing them, or because you hear about that process of the scripts made, they're trying to sell it, they're trying to get it out there, right? How many stories have we not heard because so and so said no, or it was never picked up and never talked about again, right? So that's where I think it is. I think it's just a risk issue. They know what makes money. That's why we see so many reboots and remakes and things of that nature, because they know what people loved, either nostalgia that they're bringing back, or they're just doing it again, like freaking like they make 10 different Toy Story movies. You know what I mean? Because they know
Yeah.
that's what people, they love Woody. They like this. Just have him in the movie. It makes $1 billion. I think it's risk. I think they're just scared of going out on a limb because what if people don't like it? It's fear that's stopping new ideas. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you feel like as well it's kind of the consumers as well, because we like what's familiar. We like, going to see the new Marvel movie and franchise that we know
right.
instead of going to see the new IP, instead of seeing the new ideas. So
Mhm.
it would be nice to see the new movies and new ideas, and because I'm certain there's creative, innovative writers, but it does feel like with movies, people have ran out of new plot ideas and new ideas, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think we both play a role because it's the people that tell the studios what's successful or what works or not.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I don't know, because the idea can be good and then the execution be bad,
Yeah.
and then it's made and then no one likes it. You know what I mean? It's that's a hard one because it's like, well, if the script was different, would the worst movie ever made, suddenly be our cult favorite? You never know.
The
Um,
Room.
exactly, hi Mark, right? Or the artist, right? um, but like, I think there's so much that goes into it, but you have to. Here's the thing: you can know what the audience likes
Mm,
and use that to create a story that they'll love. That's how I
yeah.
feel. You don't have to rehash these things over and over again, But if you know, okay, we have data points. I don't know what the executives talk about, but we have the data points that we'll make an action love story, so and so, blah blah blah, whatever tracks well, and we'll try to go in that direction. It's just I feel like it's the ideas. I feel like we're sticking to our guns too much, but yeah, it was good to see some fresh ideas.
It would be. Maybe in the future we'll see.
Yeah.
Question number 20. If you could have any actor's career, who would it be and why?
I'll say Denzel Washington, because he has a long, extensive career, successful movies, and he's still acting. I would love to have that longevity if I was an actor.
And what is your favorite Denzel Washington movie?
My favorite one would have to be it's going to be between Malcolm X and Training Day. If I had to choose one, I'll say Training Day. I had a lot of fun with that movie. Yeah.
Training Day is a very superb movie. And weren't there rumors that Denzel Washington was going to be in Black Panther 3 and the villain, or he was going to be a different character or something?
Right. I think he's going to see. I don't know what he's going to be. He might be like, I don't know, one of the kings or something like that. I have no idea, because he might not even be in it alive. Like, he might be on the other side. You know what I mean? We don't know what role he's going to be portraying, but yeah, that's another movie I can't wait to see. So,
question number 21. Who is the greatest actor or actress of all time?
Wow, of all time. Let me see. Oof, of all time. Wow. I don't know. I might that's very hard. I might cheap out and say Glenn Close. The reason being is because throughout her career, she has been in like cameos in other movies, and no one knew she was there. And I don't know. I like her body of work. I grew up with her. I think in the 2000s she was doing like 101 Dalmatian live action and stuff like that. But
okay.
But yeah, that's a hard question. I'm just gonna say Glenn Close and leave it at that.
That's fair enough. Question number 22. If you could make any movie tomorrow, what would you make?
If I could make any movie tomorrow, what would I make?
Yes.
Oh. It would probably be ancient sci-fi.
Okay.
So like it's going to be almost like a prehistoric it's like almost like a prehistoric superhero film. It's going to be like the main character is has a superpower or something like that, and he has to like save his tribe from like an outside force or something like that, but it's like they have technology back in the prehistoric times. Like they're actively using technology, so like it's like a more advanced prehistoric era, and what that would bring about.
And in this hypothetical film set in this prehistoric times, would it be kind of like the Adam Driver's movie when he's come to Earth early and someone stumbles into this society, or is it like our own universe or something different?
Right. So it'll probably be right. So it'll probably be our own universe,
Mm.
and it's going to focus on the tribe that the character's in, and I guess what he uncovers or stumbles upon, like maybe them using like the technology, maybe they stumble across a more advanced civilization than even
Mm.
them. And they're already
And
using
would
it
you
technology. That would be crazy.
and would you make it that they went through BC times during the Ice Age, and then make it they also went through the dinosaurs and kind of make it like that?
So like it'll be maybe a different time frame each movie. So you're following the main character in the first movie, then like he has a son and you're following the son in the second movie, and it's like the Ice Age or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like grandfather or something like that, grandson. And then it goes so time moves on as the sequels come.
So the first movie is about the father, and then it's kind of the generational piece.
So it's almost like Godfather, but like
Mm.
sci-fi and prehistoric. Yeah.
Sounds like a very interesting concept.
Mm.
Did you come up with this idea by writing it, or how did you come up with this idea?
This is something that I've had in my head for like since childhood, you know,
Oh,
just like
since childhood.
daydreaming, like coming up with all this stuff, you know. It's like, what would I want to see? So yeah, that came right to the forefront.
Have you thought about writing it down as a script to make it like in
I
a
did. It's funny
screenwrite?
because when I was 15, I tried, and then I
Mm,
I think I didn't know like writing structure, especially like
mm.
scripting and all of that. Or making a screenplay. I didn't know any of that, but it pretty much um looked more like a short story than anything. Yeah.
Would you consider like writing it as a book and see if it was successful, or you would prefer it as a movie first?
It would be an interesting book. It's not anything that I'm looking to like create or make. I just think it's a cool idea for sure.
It's a great idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Question number 23. What is a movie you think is due for a reboot?
Ooh, wow. I think due for a reboot. Well, you know, I heard rumors and I kind of would like to see it, but the never ending story. I'd love to see
And,
that. I mean,
and
I want to see that movie. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I want it with all the 80s dark. I want them to make a 2026 or 2027 80s dark fantasy. I just want to see what that even looks like, you know? I feel like Hollywood's gotten away from that from some reason, maybe because the kids got scared or something. I have no idea, but I would love to see that. Yeah. I'm sorry, that or Labyrinth in the same reasons. Yeah.
and who would you like them to be cast in the reboot?
So if we're talking about Neverending Story, I could see a Tom Holland playing
Mm.
Sebastian. Um there's a lot of animatronic, characters and puppets in that movie. But like for instance, the childlike empress could probably hmm, I'm not 100% sure, but it would probably be like a young up and coming actor today. Something like that. Yeah.
So, the last question. What is a video game you'd like to see become a movie or a TV show?
Yes. That's a great wow. No one that's the first time I'm ever hearing that question. Because I love video games as well.
Mm,
If I had if I have to answer, I gotta give two again.
that's fine.
Um, one would be a sports movie, and it would be like NBA Street. So NBA Street was pretty much a basketball game, but it was like street basketball where you can do tricks, you know. There was a show that I used to watch. It was pretty much like a competition almost. It was called And One. And One was the basketball um group that would tour, but they would it was almost like the Harlem Globetrotters, you know, how they did the tricks um during the game, you know, it made it entertaining. I would love to see a movie where it's like a basketball game, NBA Street, where they're doing all the basketball tricks, you know, um, and it's like a I don't know, it could be a team story, maybe. You know, they have to believe in themselves and they finally win the championship, maybe, almost like the Mighty Ducks, right? But then I think that I would love to see a Grand Theft Auto because that is right in my vein of action. Um, they don't have to do too much with it, you know, just you know, make a good script, a good story, and I think we'll be happy with it, you know. I'm thinking about the games, especially number 3 is when I first
Got
played it,
into it.
right? The first 2 were like top-down games, right? I wasn't into it back then, but on PS2, I remember 3D, you could do whatever you want, sandbox of a game, loved it. But each of the games after, you know, 3, excuse me, 4 and 5, I think they were good stories, you know? So if they can kinda make it all work together like that, Grand Theft Auto easy. Yeah.
So there's a lot to divulge and talk about with these two answers. With the basketball street sort of one, would you like it to be 2v2 or 3v3 or 5v5
Oh,
or just
like, you mean in the movie?
yes?
They can do, they could do a 5 versus 5. They could do that.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I know,
And
like,
how would
NBA Jam is like a 3-on-3,
mm.
or is that 2-on-2? Either way, I think it would work better in a movie if it was more what people recognize of real basketball. You know, having the 5-person team, XYZ. Yep.
And would you make the plot as well? There's like on one team, there's like they do things like illegally, they do things by like fouling, and that's what makes them the best team. And then there's like one team, he used to be like an NBA player, but he's trying to succeed again. Would you make that like what the movie is about, or
Yeah.
how would
I
you do
mean, that's a good concept. I'm not mad at that. Is I'm thinking of Shaolin soccer now because it'll almost be like, yes, you have that the 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 evil team, right? Or if you want to think Space Jam too, like you have that evil team,
it?
and
Yes.
then you have maybe they're getting the band back together or something like that. And um, what I envision the NBA Street movie being is that you then get to see a lot of the street basketball players cast in the film doing their signature moves, right? Um, yeah, I think that would be an experience.
Definitely. And I guess in the GTA movie, would you have it that it chooses one of the games to use its story, or would it be like its own separate like thing? And would you make it that it has multiple characters and somehow it like
Interconnect.
while yeah, what like while a mission is happening, or you know how in GTA you can swap between characters and you can would you do that, or how would you do the movie?
So I think I would have it be more like GTA 5, where
Yeah.
you are it's like a heist, right?
Mm.
Um Now I think you can do it with multiple characters. But I don't want it to be so much like what's that movie? The Italian Job, where like they're
Oh
all
yeah.
together, you know. I want it to be where it's like the video game and yes, switching, but I need a I they would have to figure out a way to make that creative. So like for
Mm.
instance, it's the same job they're on and maybe they're on different missions, but I need them to swap back and forth. You know what I mean? And then it all culminates into like the big mission. Like they did all these things building up to that big mission. Yeah, I think that would be the best way to go about it. And possibly even like like just as an example, like Michael on the phone, driving the truck that he had to steal or something like that. And maybe each person gets like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to do their thing, but then they bring it all back around. I don't know how they would do it, but if they do it as close to the video game as possible, home run.
Do you kind of imagine like when that transportation happens, it's kind of like a ghost form, like you're seeing like their inner like it transforms from one character to the other, or do you like
Mhm.
it's like chapter format? We get to see one chapter of the story,
That's a
something like
good
that.
right. No, so I don't want the chapter thing. I think that breaks it up a little bit too much. I would love
Mm,
them to do the missions like doing them at the same time in the same time space, you know, but without like a weapons. How they kind of went through each person's view of what was happening. I don't want them to split it up that way. I would love it for the whole movie to flow with them together. And then as they're doing the missions, you seeing the swap happen right then and there. And then, you
mm.
know, they complete it or they fail at it. I would like to see that one. Yeah.
And you would also keep like the star system and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. If it's a GTA movie, you have to. And like maybe as they're going through it and like you're seeing more and more like cop cars or whatever, maybe there's a star system in the actual movie. Just there.
Yeah.
Stays there, doesn't go away, it's just there. And then it's like, oh, that would be different. It would be unique. Yeah.
Would you like it to happen like once or twice in the movie when it's like at 5 stars, and then they have to evade the police at least one time?
So I think that it probably because you know in GTA you can get rid of those stars, right?
Yes.
I want maybe that as the movie goes on, they are just collecting the stars. Okay.
Hmm,
And
that's a good
then,
point.
you know, like the finale is the 5 star, you know, them jumping over the building, you know, helicopters and cops following. I think it gets to a 5 star.
Mm,
Um, so like for instance, whenever they start a mission, the star system, whatever it looks like, will be on the screen. Maybe it's not there the whole movie, right? Like when they're chatting or you know going through the character development, but when they're like
mm.
planning the mission that they're about to do, maybe it shows how many stars they have, so the audience you know can know how risky it is. I think that could work actually.
And how would you do it? Because it works in a video game, but when a character uh, dies in a game, you can just come back from a hospital like nothing happened.
Oh
But in
yeah, no.
real,
So yep, no, that's a great point. I think that what they do is lean into that. So like if um Michael gets blown up in a car, right? He wakes up in a he's you see him walking out the hospital. It's like it's just ridiculous, right? But it's also GTA. So
mm, it sound
I'm sorry, at that point, it's gonna feel like what's that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's a video game? The good guy.
oh, the free guy.
Right. He's gonna feel like the good guy at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. The more we're talking about it, it actually sounds like a sort of serious, but sort of like a comedy sort of movie.
Yep. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of comedy in the game, but it's like, you know, it's rock star humor. I think we're gonna get a lot of that if they ever make a movie for sure.
And speaking about video games, what are your thoughts about the shows that they have done and with the direction of the video game trend?
Like the shows.
Yeah, like how they got Fallout and things like that.
Oh, yes. I mean, listen, I think that a video game show, because I like Fallout. I like
Yeah.
season one a little bit more than season two, but I all they have to do i- is I don't know, bring in aspects of the game into
Mm.
whatever story you're telling. Um it sounds easy enough, but then you can totally mess it up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um I don't know. When I think about like a video game movie, what I would enjoy are like callbacks,
Mm.
um, literally see them use, the tech they might be using in the game. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just because then it goes back to the question of what would be successful. Because if
Yeah.
the writing's off, then the show's gonna suck, right? If the
Well.
acting is off, we're not going to be able to stay there, but there's a lot of different factors, but I think they're successful in doing them so far, and I hope they keep doing it, but I just want them to continue to be of high standard.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining the video. I feel like we've learned a lot with these questions. We've learned you like characters. We both like The Matrix and a lot
Nice.
of other things. I hope you enjoyed the questions and you had fun.
I did. No, those questions really made me think. Thank you guys for putting them together and having me join, guys. This was fun.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining the audience and hope you enjoyed the live stream. And as always, let the force be with you and see you in the next live stream. Bye bye.